It's the Full Spectrum D&D podcast. I just remembered that I put my phone away right after saying that I would need to retweet the stream tweet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so let me just do that real quick while we go live.
Yeah, it's live. I mean, nothing go. Don't mess up, do anything wrong.
Right? I mean, who do you think? How many podcasts do you think I've done live at this point? I would never make sweeping mistakes.
Derail the whole thing, or...
No, that's not a mistake.
Oh,
those are
sorry.
on purpose.
Sorry. Excuse me, sir.
I may apologize for them, but they're still on purpose.
Okay, excuse me, sir. I misunderstood.
Alright, no, I put love again. Every time I type live, my phone autocorrects it to love.
Which we do love everybody.
Yeah, I'm just, I love people so much that I want to give them my thoughts about D&D.
Yeah.
I'm not saying my thoughts are better or more important than anybody's. I'm just saying that
I feel that way. I'm not gonna...
are excited thoughts. And excited thoughts should, I was about to say excited thoughts should always be shared, but that's not true.
That is definitely not true.
There's some excited thoughts you should not be sharing with anyone.
No, probably not.
You shouldn't be thinking of them either, let's be honest. But, so we're going to do pre-show for, what do you think, about 5-10 minutes? Somewhere in there?
We'll give it a few minutes. Some people get some time for some people to show up.
And then after that, we'll go into the subclasses. I forgot to link it in the Discord.
That would probably help.
I retweeted it on Twitter, but I forgot to link it in the Discord because I am a big dummy.
We have wonderful people in Discord that will actually come watch this just to help us out. So
yes. Nope, that's not the right button. This is the right button. And then, it's my own Discord. I should know it at this point.
I would think. I don't know. I don't.
It.
That's the only social media I have. So I guess technically I have a YouTube account.
Yeah.
On that.
But you only have that so you can comment on my videos.
That's pretty much true. That's pretty much true.
And on our videos. Sometimes you comment on our videos.
Actually, that's the only ones I comment. I don't care about it. So I want to watch you by a minute.
Oh, I didn't realize you were an Andrew today. We're in a little bit. We're going to talk subclasses again. We kind of put that on the back burner last week because it was our first live.
Yes.
But glad to hear the volume's better today. Excited about that.
That's awesome.
Got some lights coming in for next week that should have been here today. But it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
We'll work with what we have.
Doing it live. Are we allowed to make that joke nowadays?
I think so. I'm old enough to. I don't know if you are.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I am a very young 19 years old.
He's lived in 4 different decades. I'll just put it that way.
Man, I don't even... First off, I didn't like myself at 19. I'm glad I'm not 19 anymore.
That's one of the things that always crack me up, especially the older I get. It's like, if you go back and tell yourself... I'm just going to slap the living crap out. I'm just going to walk up.
I needed it. Somebody should have. That's all I'm saying. If somebody had, maybe it wouldn't have taken me so long to get my life together.
Is this a podcast or a therapy session? What are we doing here?
Both.
Okay, well, it's probably both, yeah. It's pretty cathartic.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
But for real, though, right in the mouth. Knock his teeth out. Maybe don't do that. I need those.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'm most afraid of, getting older, to be honest with you.
Really?
Losing my teeth, because I can't stand the dentist.
Oh.
Because my breathing's really bad, right? So I don't like going to the dentist. Because they have to put me under, and if they don't put me under, the anesthesis doesn't take, and so I feel the pain, so they have to put me under.
Okay.
And I don't like going under because, what if I have an asthma attack while I'm under, that's not great.
That's not ideal, no.
No. And so, I don't like going to the dentist.
Okay. Fair enough.
Facts about me that nobody needed to know.
Yeah. Keep that mark down.
Somebody asked me once, what I thought my best skill for podcasting was. And I think it's this. It's the fact that I can just talk about nothing. I can pull topics out of null void space to talk about. The problem is they're not interesting topics. They're just topics.
But we will cover them.
Yeah, it's like we just need to fill dead air. I got you.
Yeah.
I got it covered.
Oh, yeah, I got all kinds of useless stuff I can talk about.
Do you know the thing on the end of your shoelace is called an aglet?
I did know that, and I have to thank Phineas and Ferb. That's the reason why I know that.
I would say that's why most people know that. Do you know how I know that? There was a kid at my school when I was little that decided to tell everybody else he was so much smarter than everybody else.
Yeah.
By telling everybody else that it was called an aglet. It was me. I was the child. I was the kid. Everyone hated me.
Oh. Yeah.
You think that's enough pre-show?
I don't know. I'm kind of waiting to see where this goes. I mean, we'd like to go ahead and start this eventually.
So, like, I should say that I eventually got punched in the face for it.
Okay.
Because there was this one boy, I won't use his real name, but for the sake of this, we'll call him Larry. So I told Larry that it was called an aglet, and Larry asked me if I was an idiot. And I said, no, obviously I'm not an idiot. I knew it was called an aglet. And then he punched me in the face. And I was like, what'd you do that for? And he said, because you're an idiot. And you know, it turns out Larry was right. I'm just saying.
I hear you. I understand. I understand.
He and I became really good friends later on, though.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a good way to start a friendship.
Yeah.
Boys can start a friendship that way. I don't know about girls.
No, they do worse. They pull hair and claw at faces and then go, yeah, we're all friends, teacher, look. That's not fair.
That's not fair.
Some girls do that. Some girls just don't instigate violence to begin with.
That's true.
But not the girls around where I live. Those girls all choose violence. They got up in the morning and violence was chosen for them.
Yeah.
Before they even got out of bed.
It was happening.
Yeah.
All right. I think that might be enough for you.
I'm going to get canceled now.
You're not so good that way. Well, the good news is somebody would actually have to watch it in order for you to get canceled.
Yes.
So I think we're safe for a while.
I also think the people that would be mad at me for saying that the girls in this area that around where I live chose violence before they even got up in the morning would have also chosen violence before they got up in the morning. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Do the intro. Start the show. Do the intro. Start the show.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum D&D podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
Yeah, we got some good stuff to talk about today that doesn't involve me getting canceled. No,
good thing.
I want to clarify real quick.
Oh, man.
Obviously, that was a bit.
We were so close.
Obviously, I think that was a bit.
So close.
All of 30% of the women that I know are extreme. No. Women are great. Men are great. People are great. Everybody's great. Everybody should play D&D. Firmly believe that. Despite the fact that some popular D&D Twitch streamers have been revealed to be not so great, I still stand by that that statement. Everybody should play D&D.
Well, D&D's got the same problem that every other thing in life has. It's got people in it.
That's right.
And occasionally people are not. People are terrible.
That's right.
So we're covering... The subclasses we're covering are in the Player's Handbook.
Yes, please help me steer away from this terrible decision that I've made. Because there are going to be people that don't think it's a bit. There are going to be people that think I honestly think that. And don't realize that everything except for the story about Larry was a joke. That was true, actually. But...
And I will say one thing on this note. Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
All right, so we have covered up to... Paladin?
Yes!
Paladin's a cool class. So we're talking about Paladin subclasses today.
Yep, so we're talking about the Oath of Devotion, the Oath of the Ancients, and the Oath of Vengeance.
Okay, just full honesty here, I know the Oath of Vengeance pretty well, because I think that's what a lot of people, it fits for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And I've known a couple of people that ran that.
Yes. I
don't know much about the Ancients. I kind of remember. I think I'm getting the Devotion, the Ancients, mixed up in my mind. So we'll have to read through and find out.
Oath of Devotion is the one that you kind of just forget exists because it's just like the default when you think about a paladin. It's the I'm an honorable person. I uphold the law. I protect people. It's my job to be there, to care.
Well, each one of these has a set of tenets, a set of oaths,
Yes.
so to speak, that they got to keep up with, right? That's supposed to define the character.
So, do you want to start with devotion since it's first in there?
I think so. I think we'll start with there.
Let me read you these tenets.
Okay, so
these are the laws.
Laws for the Oath of Devotion.
And when you're playing a paladin, to me, hey Pat, to me the most important thing for a paladin is to stand by these oaths. If you choose to play a paladin, you need to I'll put it this way, the most important character decisions are wrapped around these.
And I think this is a little bit of failing of alignment in 5th edition.
Yes.
Because alignment doesn't matter in 5th edition, really.
Right. No, it doesn't.
At the end of the day. But you do have these ideals that should define and align, like you're saying, align where the character can go.
Would you say that pre-show Trey was chaotic good?
At that point, I think it's a little more chaotic neutral. I didn't know where he was going.
I don't know where he was going, and I have to deal with the
neutral.
ramifications of it.
Chaotic neutral.
Oh. So, these tenets, right? For devotion. The tenets of devotion. Honesty. Don't lie or cheat. Let your word be your promise.
Right.
This is why people say paladins are annoying to have in a group.
They should be.
Yes, I agree. A paladin should be a problem in your group. In the same way that a rogue should be a problem, or a warlock should be your problem. You know?
Yeah.
Welcome back, and hello to Faith. Wizard man. Yeah, honesty. Just don't lie or cheat. You know? And this, I think, depending on how your player, or how the character is played, I feel like you can spin this in a couple ways, but the way that I always spin this is, if I'm not allowed to lie, neither are you.
Yeah.
Don't lie around me. Because I believe in honesty.
Yeah.
The next one being courage. Never fear to act, though caution is wise. And I like that they throw that in there for you, because that gives you an out to be like, no, my character would know this is a trap.
Yeah.
As compared to just, well,
I'm
courageous.
I gotta do it.
And that's a problem that comes in with the Vengeance Paladin, which I love. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I love
Yes.
the Vengeance Paladin, but that's definitely a problem that comes in with the Vengeance Paladin, is that their oaths don't allow you. There's a very, and we'll get to it when we get there, but there's a very big thing you need to take as a Vengeance Paladin if you want to not kill all of your enemies.
Yeah.
If you want to be able to leave one alive. Compassion's the next tenet of devotion. Aid others, protect the weak, and punish those who threaten them. Show mercy to your foes, but temper it with wisdom.
So this is, I don't know. This is this is Paladin 101. This is
Hey, Dark.
This is, hey, I'm glad you can make it. This is what I would like to be as a man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think these are
Courageous, honest, compassionate,
honorable.
Mm-hmm.
You know I think that's maybe why it kind of gets pushed, because it is kind of just set.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to kill them all? Yeah, and that's where, when we get to the Vengeance Paladin, there's a reason it's my favorite.
I have a feeling somebody's waiting on Warlock. I'm not going to say any names.
Vengeance Paladin is my favorite for a reason. Honorable is the next one. Treat others with fairness. Let your honorable deeds be an example to them. Do as much good as possible while causing the least amount of harm.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting one in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you can use this to be like, technically, it would be better for me to go stop them, but stopping them would cause harm.
Right.
And so your code of honor it can be more complex than just, I'm going to always do the right thing.
Right.
It can be a lot more interesting for role play than just, I'm the good guy.
Well, it gives you the area to navigate that gray area in between.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
it's always nice as when you have the option as a player.
Yes. And then finally, for your tenets for the Devotion Paladin, be responsible for your actions and their consequences. Protect those entrusted to your care and obey those who have just authority over you.
That's duty.
Just authority. That is duty.
Yes, just authority. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is very cool. Also, we should get into the fact that not only do they have these tenets, these vows that they stand by, they also have channel divinity, like the clerics.
Right.
And these channel divinities are different depending on which oath you take.
Mm-hmm.
So your channel divinity for a devotion paladin is a sacred weapon. You can imbue one weapon you're holding with positive energy. For 1 minute, you add your charisma modifier to attack rolls made with that weapon. The weapon also emits bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light 20 feet beyond that. And if it wasn't already magical, it is magical for the duration.
Yeah.
Which is,
Cool.
again, this is the good guy.
Yeah,
You know, this is that paladin.
Yeah.
That.
Shiny armor.
Yeah.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Jen. I think you're gonna like. I think you're gonna like paladins when we get into some of the stuff here. They're absolutely worth playing, in my opinion. But again, since we're talking Devotion Paladin, I think you have to strive for that middle, as compared to just I'm the good guy, to I am a good person. But what does that mean?
Well, also you've got, if you playing a paladin, I'll let you kind of go back to what you said before. You've got these tenets kind of outlined. Mm-hmm. You're going to try to follow, and it's the same way. I made the joke about the warlock.
Yeah.
You know, and the killing everyone. If you're playing like, there's a difference with playing. I know I said alignment didn't matter, but there's a difference playing lawfully and chaotic evil, right?
Yeah.
Lawfully was going to take a measure. Will take a much more measured approach.
Yes.
Of how they think about this, but they're both going to be evil.
Well, and again, if you're a Devotion Paladin, how do you balance out being compassionate towards the weak and this duty that you've been given to slaughter this entire tribe of goblins?
Yeah.
Those baby goblins, they're weak. They can't protect themselves. So what do you do?
Yeah.
You know?
Raise them and make an army.
Yeah.
Get them
good
armor and weapons.
That's right. But I think it really does, like the idea of the 2nd edition Paladin, that if you're a rogue, you don't want him in the party because you have to constantly get him to look the other way so you can do your job. I think that has kind of taken over the idea of a Paladin, and it has pushed people away from Paladin. When even the Devotion Paladin gives you so many options if you're willing to mess around with it.
Well, it's I guess in this day and age, it would be the as the classes go, you have the TikTok idea of what they are.
Yeah.
And as hilarious and great as those are, it does, that's just a very thin kind of stereotype.
It is. It's the shin veneer.
Yeah. That we can all laugh at.
Yeah.
So
I think I said shin, but I meant thin, but it's fine. Nobody expects me to get words right here, right? Next up is Turn the Unholy. This is a different option. It literally used to be called Turn Undead, and that's where you get the phrase Turn Undead that's used in many, many references and other things. Anime uses it, video games use it, because it really is just Turn Undead.
Yes.
Hey, clerics use it now, I believe, Turn Undead.
Mm-hmm. And, any of the, I'm going back to 2nd edition, any of the lawful good clerics or paladins throughout editions have been able to do that. That's one of the...
Turn the Unholy is a better version of that, though, in a lot of ways, because it's not just undead.
Yeah.
It's unholy. And it works exactly the same way. You command them basically to flee from your aura, and they do.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just that.
Run.
It's great. It's good, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder again, to chat, from where I'm sitting, it's kind of hard for me to read anything. So if I don't respond right away, don't worry about me. But Rundgren is much closer to chat, so he can see you. Which also is on the stream, I'm very far away from the chat. You're very close to the chat. You and the chat are best friends. There's a clear divide between me and you that happened because of the pre-show, and if you weren't here for that, please don't go back and watch it. If we weren't live, I would honestly say we could have redone that pre-show and I would have been fine. Because I really worry that people aren't going to realize that I was joking.
But it's done now.
It's done now.
It's done now.
I'll just go back and
there.
I can actually go back and cut that out on YouTube.
Yeah.
I might.
Look,
but
we got somebody over here who says, things just happen to catch on fire. I don't know how much longer this podcast is going to be up. Between what you say and...
if something happens to catch on fire and I'm the paladin, I'm going to do my best to put that fire out. Unless I think that would cause more harm.
Oh, man.
Then I'm going to let that fire blaze. So another thing that you get as a paladin is your auras.
Your what?
Your auras.
Auras. Okay.
And the aura of devotion that you get at 7th level means that anything within 10 feet of you cannot be charmed while you are conscious.
That's nice.
It's pretty good.
It's
not
nice.
Always applicable, but not bad.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. Kind of about the paladin. You were talking about the turn undead.
Yeah.
Earlier. It's cool.
Yes.
Especially when it happens, it's cool. But sometimes you're not going to be able to
turn away.
You're not going to be able to get a chance to use that. The other. Now this is a melee casting class.
Yes.
And it's going to cast. It casts like the ranger does.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another class that kind of fits with that. The paladin and ranger kind of go together.
Yeah. Sorry, I was straining and reading chat and getting a kick out of it. There's a paladin coming up that you can play evil, and it's pretty fun.
I tell you what, for if you want paladin under that, I think it's not in here. Conquest. That's what I'm trying to think of.
Yeah.
But check out the paladin.
Well, Conquest is so good.
Yeah.
That is basically, hey, I'm going to become a warlord.
Yeah,
I'm going to become Oda Nobunaga.
You're a conqueror.
By the end of this, I'm the demon king of the sixth heaven. Try and stop me.
Yeah.
Maokatan Rao.
I can kind of see the spell list.
Yeah. So I've completely skipped over these because I always forget that they're important. Because it's not what I play paladins for, right? But as a devotion paladin, you get at 3rd level protection from evil and good and sanctuary. 5th level lesser restoration and zone of truth. 9th level beacon of hope, which is a very good spell.
Yeah.
And dispel magic. 13th level freedom of movement and guardian of faith. And 17th level commune and flame strike. Flame strike comes very late.
Yeah, it does.
And isn't worth that at that level.
No, not really.
Opinion.
No. But the rest of the spells kind of go along. Yeah. Most of those are kind of just like they go along really well with the class.
Yeah.
Kind of fit in there.
At 15th level, you're under the effects of the protection from good and evil spell at all times.
That's handy.
Yeah.
I can use that.
Protection from good and evil, I'm good. And then at level 20, you get the Holy Nimbus. You can emanate an aura of sunlight. For 1 minute, bright light shines from you in a 30-minute radius. And dim light, or 30-foot radius. Dim light shines 30 feet beyond that. Whenever an enemy creature starts its turn in the bright light, they take 10 radiant damage. In addition, for the duration, you have advantage on saving throws against spells cast by fiends or undead, and you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. I honestly think 10 radiant damage is really low for a 20th level ability.
Yeah, they're kind of really unimpressive back here because it's like Waverly is saying. By the time you're that level, most fire's not going to affect it.
Yeah.
Most stuff, if you're up there in that level.
As somebody who just recently played an Oath of Vengeance Paladin to level 20, fire's worthless past level 15. It's just bad. It's the single worst element in the game past level 15. Everything's resistant to it.
Yeah.
Some stuff is healed by it.
Yeah.
You're fighting fiends that live in infernal flaming plains. Fire's great for the first 15 levels, and after that, it just falls off.
It does.
It's fine, though. It's fine. After that is the Oath of Ancients, which is a very interesting
Except for the baby goblins, of course.
Yeah, I mean, they're always affected by fire.
Right. So
they never get resistance.
True.
So the Oath of the Ancients is kind of special. Their job is to preserve, basically, to remember. And so let me read off these tenets for you, and it will give you the idea of what an Oath of the Ancients Paladin. Kindle the light. Through your acts of mercy, kindness, and forgiveness, kindle the light of hope in the world, beating back despair. Make sure that continues to shine, right? Shelter the light. Where there is good, beauty, love, and laughter in the world, stand against the wickedness that would swallow it. Where life flourishes, stand against the forces that would render it barren. Preserve your own light. Delight in song and laughter, in beauty and art. If you allow the light to die in your own heart, you can't preserve it in the world. And be the light. Be a glorious beacon for all who live in despair. Let the light of your joy and courage shine forth in all your deeds. What I like about this one is it is nature themed and it's not, right?
Well, you can take it that way. That's all I think as you're going through it. You could be shamanistic to if you could be shamanistic, like nature, wild shamanistic with this devotion.
Yep.
Or you could even go if in the world that you're playing in, there's like a Catholic like a main church where you are the knight.
Yes.
Are the, you can go either way. It's a
the Templar.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Way. But you're going to be happy.
That's a question from chat. Are there any races that are immune to fire that you can play as?
Genasi. There is a fire Genasi that's immune to fire, I believe.
Kobolds are resistant, right?
Kobolds are resistant. You
can play as those now.
Dragonborn. The Red Dragonborn?
Red Dragonborn, yeah.
Is it resistant?
It's resistant. It's not immune.
It's not immune. I guess the fire Genasi is the only one I can think of off the top of my head. That's there may be another one. But the fire, yeah.
I think so.
These Genasi, it's an elemental genie in a sort of way.
Yeah.
So
I think that'd be about it. So let me give you the Oath of the Ancient spells. You get Ensnaring Strike and Speak with Animals at 3rd level. Because again, they've kind of gone the druid style with this.
Yeah.
Which is one way to look at it for sure. Misty Step and Moonbeam at 5th level. Plant Growth and Protection from Energy at 9th level. Ice Storm and Stone Skin at 13th level. And Commune with Nature and Tree Stride at 17th level.
If Sleeping Beauty or Snow White would have leveled up, I think this is what they would...
Yeah. Yeah. No,
it actually fits. I know it fits.
Keep going. No, I'm here for it.
No, it doesn't have to stay with nature, right?
Right.
But it really, you're right. It really does feel at home there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, Stone Skin for sure has its uses. Tree Stride is very strong. Anybody who's like, Tree Stride, I can't do damage with that. That's not the point.
Yeah, no. No, that's not the point. Not all spells are for damage.
That's right.
Which is that.
Controllers are just as important. You need that.
A store skin? I'm pretty sure you're lying. You always have a need for a store skin. I'm pretty sure I bet you meant stone skin, but I'll leave that alone.
So I have to ask, since you say there's always a need for store skin, does that mean you need another skin, like another set of skin, to go into the store, or that you want a different skin for the store? So like you go into a store and suddenly the merchant is from Resident Evil 4.
I wonder what your dog thinks when you change clothes. Would he think that was a skin?
So, those moments during the regular weekly podcast where you put something in chat and I'm trying so hard not to laugh? That was it, but I remembered I can laugh this time. Anyway, Oath of the Ancients Paladin. Channel Divinities. Channel Divinities. Nature's Wrath. You can use your Channel Divinity to invoke primeval forces to ensnare a foe. As an action, you can cause spectral vines to spring up and reach for a creature within 10 feet of you that you can see. Creature must succeed on strength or dex saving throw of its choice, or be restrained. While restrained in the vines, they repeat the saving throw at the end of each turn. On success, it frees itself and the vines vanish. Which is pretty good.
Not bad, not bad.
That's not bad at all. But I see a certain comment in chat about a choice that I made with a bag of holding once, and I'm ignoring it. Turn the Faithless is the second one, which is very much like Turn Unholy.
Yeah.
You utter words that are painful for Fae and Fiends, and you turn Fae and Fiends, and it works exactly the same way.
That's interesting.
Very stout.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Yeah.
You don't belong in this world.
Right.
Very Simon Belmont. I'm here for it.
I'll go with that for sure.
I want to play a Simon Belmont Oath of the Ancients Paladin. That is like, I kill these undead, these fiends, these fae that don't belong in this world. I'm a monster hunter. I'm a Geralt of Rivia witcher.
Yeah.
But I am a Oath of the Ancients Paladin.
Yeah. No, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
You don't belong in this world. The Aura of Warding, beginning at 7th level. Ancient magic lies so heavily upon you that it forms an eldritch ward. You and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you have resistance to damage from spells. Which is really good. And at 18th level, it increases to 30. That's nuts.
That's how... Now I'm wondering why Has anybody played one of these yet?
Yeah.
Going through.
I think it's because people forget it exists.
I think so. And I think that's the point we've kind of talked about with 5e before. The amount of subclasses that got thrown out, all the amount of player content that got put out quickly kind of maybe overshadowed some of
Oath of the Ancients gets washed over by all the new cooler paladins. Like Oath of the, what is the one that just can't die?
It's like 17. No, it's
Oath of the Tempest or something like that. And it's like, at this point, I'm literally unkillable now.
Yeah.
I can just I can cast True Resurrection on myself for free. It's like, what? Excuse me? Bag of Weasels exists in D&D? I mean, why not, right? Look, all I'm saying is my campaign...
that is a quote to yes, Bag of Weasels does exist in D&D. In fact, that goes all the way back to Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm clueless on this.
Do that. Look at that. I don't know the quest it's from, and I'm not sure that Gary Gygax actually wrote that. It may be from one of the old Dragon magazines ones.
Yeah.
But there was a Bag of Weasels that it's a chaos item you throw into your quest.
Oh, sure, yes.
It's a bag of weasels. Infinity Weasels.
I'm just saying, somebody comes into my campaign and they say, can I ask the shopkeep if there's a bag of weasels here? There is now.
Right.
Of course. I don't know what you're about to do with that bag of weasels, but yes.
Yes,
there is a bag of weasels here now.
This bartender does happen to have a bag of weasels.
For no reason. He just has them. I did have a player that had a bag of scorpions once.
Right. There's a few things like that will end your game.
Yeah.
If you don't put some restrictions on them, and sometimes that's fine.
I have
sometimes
a bag of ball bearings. I'm gonna put my bag of ball bearings into another bag of ball bearings. And I'm gonna put that bag of ball bearings into a bigger bag of ball bearings, and then I'm gonna throw it. And when it hits the monster, the second bag is going to come out and hit the monster. And then the first bag is going to come out and hit the monster. And then all the ball bearings are going to hit the monster. And it's going to take 17d4 per bag.
Yeah, no, that's not going to work. No.
I wouldn't let that happen. I'm just saying, you could.
Yeah, you could.
Anyway, we should probably move on. At 15th level, Undying Sentinel. When you are reduced to 0 hit points and are not killed outright, you can choose to drop to 1 instead.
Yeah.
Once you use this ability, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Additionally, you suffer none of the drawbacks of old age, and you can't be aged magically.
Yeah, that's really cool. There's a couple of classes, races, or subclasses that have that relentlessness.
Yes.
You don't go.
Relentless endurance for half orc is so good.
And I like that. It's powerful, one. But I honestly like that as a role playing feature.
Yes.
Like you're standing, you're dead. Basically.
I choose not to die.
Yes, I choose not to, so I'm going to keep going.
So if you do a half orc Oath of the Ancients Paladin, you get 2 of those every rest.
That's nice.
We're good. Pretty good. Level 20. At 20th level, you can assume the form of an ancient force of nature with Elder Champion, taking on an appearance you choose. I almost said apprentice. Man, I'm having trouble reading today. I'm not having trouble reading. I'm having trouble getting the words out of my mouth. For example, your skin might turn green or take on a bark-like texture. Your hair might become leafy or moss-like, or you might sprout antlers or a lion-like mane. Using your action, you undergo a transformation. For 1 minute, you gain the following benefits. At the start of each of your turns, you regain 10 hit points each turn, not just 10 damage once, like with the Devotion. Whenever you cast a Paladin spell that has a casting time of 1 action, you can cast as a bonus action instead. And enemy creatures within 10 feet of you have disadvantage on saving throws against your Paladin spells and Channel Divinity. I kind of wish this came at like level 5.
Yeah, that'd be...
and did way less.
I don't know. If that pops up... You rearrange this class a little bit and pop that up at like 10 or 12. Mm-hmm. I think it's really strong. It is insane. That is true. I am sure that's 100% true. It is insane the combos and stuff people have come up with.
Yeah.
With if you have this
a bag of weasels and a decanter of endless water, for instance, as it's just been pointed out in the chat.
That's what I was talking about. But there's the other one with the one that collects souls that you can spend a soul in it.
Yep, the soul coin.
Yeah, and you can. It's okay. I'm gonna go hunt and shoot. No, it's a boar. It's the boar statue that collects boar souls.
Yes.
And you fill that with souls, and then you save it up. And you save it up, 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 and then you shoot a magic missile.
Yep.
And you have 42,000 D4 to roll.
Yep.
Which would be awesome.
I also, again, you're gonna say this is stupid, and I agree. But per 5e rules, it's written. I would never allow this, but if you use a catapult to launch your character into your character's gonna die.
Yeah.
But in the air, you turn open the bag of holding, and you have all of your ball bearings that fall from an immense height onto the enemy like a rain of death. They're going to die. So are you, but they're going to die. I'm just saying, actually, ball bearings have so many more uses than you give them credit for.
Here's the thing: if you do that, if you're a high enough barbarian and you rage,
yeah, you might still live. Yeah,
you might still live.
Operation Ball Bearing Rain. Could we go with? Tell me if this is too crass. Could we instead call it Operation Ball Rain?
That would probably get more clicks if we did.
I mean, that might be the title of this podcast now when it goes on YouTube. I'm just saying. Ball bearings are great, and people need to realize that ball bearings are far more useful than they give them credit for. I will preach that until the end of my days. Ball bearings are worth buying as a player. You should always have a knife. You should always have a lamp. You should always have a shovel. You should always have a bag of ball bearings.
And a towel.
And a towel, yes.
Yes, they actually, that happened in a campaign not too long ago. It didn't quite grenade off. But yeah, I try to do everything as a DM I can not to let 2 bags of holding be in one party.
Yeah. Probably not a good idea. So that's the Oath of the Ancients Paladin. Very strong.
I think so.
Like it a lot. Never see it.
Right. Exactly.
But my favorite Paladin.
Oath of Vengeance.
The Oath of Vengeance.
Yeah.
And the vows are to fight the greater evil. Faced with the choice of fighting my sworn foes or combating a lesser evil, I choose the greater evil. No mercy for the wicked. Ordinary foes might win my mercy, but my sworn enemies do not. By any means necessary, my qualms can't get in the way of exterminating my foes. And restitution. If my foes wreak ruin on the world, it is because I failed to stop them. I must help those harmed by their misdeeds. And can I tell you why I love this one so much?
Please do so.
Because it contradicts itself. It contradicts itself from before you even start playing the character. The vows that you have taken are that you will always fight the greater evil.
Yeah.
But that if something causes trouble, it's your fault because you didn't stop it, so you need to make it better. Which means you chose to go fight the greater evil, but then it's your fault the smaller thing did the problem, so you got to go stop it too.
Yeah.
By any means necessary, which means your qualms won't get in the way, but restitution means it's still your fault, so you still have to go back and fix it. So it's just this constant cycle of almost like I'm not good enough, I have to kill it.
You have to keep going, yeah.
And it fuels the paladin in a way that I think the other ones kind of don't, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think that's the fun. That's why that one's a lot more fun, because you can play it all. Yes, I kill evil, kill. Mm-hmm. Now it would be fun, and I would like if we wanted to do a and this would be like an over the top evil campaign. Switch switch evil for good.
Yeah.
In the tenants, and that would be like Monty Python.
Yeah.
There's gonna be silly evil. That would be a blast.
Go for it.
Switch those around.
4 bags of holding, man.
Yes, that's what he was talking about.
I should specify, too, if you want to play this paladin, you have to take ceremony, or your party is going to hate you. Because you literally are not allowed to not kill somebody if they are part of the group that you're hunting for vengeance. And if your party's like, well, we need to get information from them, you have to be able to do a ceremony where they can get their it's repentance, right? It's got a different word in the reading of ceremony, but it's literally You have to get them that, or they have to die. There's the only two options.
One of the two. You're a ghost rider.
Yes,
you are
100%.
Without a penance.
And sometimes you need somebody to grab you and hold you back.
Yeah.
Because they need information from that guy. You know, it's great. That's true. You could just ask the questions and them kill them, but
some people are very zealous. That's all I'm going to say.
We don't have time to wait. We have to go now. He's right there.
Yeah.
You know, you got to go stop him. You gotta go. So your spell list.
Okay.
3rd level you get Bane and Hunter's Mark. At 5th level you get Hold Person and Misty Step. Which Misty Step, by the way, is so good.
Yeah.
To just have. Hey, I'm here. What's up? You're about to die.
Yeah.
Haste and Protection from Energy at 9th.
Mm-hmm.
Banishment and Dimension Door at 13th. For when you really need to kill that guy and you don't want anybody to get in the way.
Right. We're going to step over here.
And then 17th, you get Hold Monster and Scrying. Because it wasn't enough that you couldn't find them before. Right. Now you will find them.
The Hold Monster one, okay, the Scrying one's pretty cool. Cool there. The Hold Monster one could change out for something a little more, I don't know.
Yeah.
A little more appropriate with it.
I think Hold Monster would work better if you could still, like, get them while you were holding them instead of it being concentration.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Banishment is great for this, too, because you just go, I'm trying to kill this guy right now, you get out of here. Boom, you're banished. I'm back on my guy. So, you have your channeled divinities. One of them, I think, is more useful than the other one.
Yeah.
But Abjure Enemy is okay. You present your holy symbol, speak a prayer of denunciation. Mm-hmm. You choose one creature within 60 feet of you that you can see. And basically, if it fails that, it has to run.
Yes.
Which is, sure, it's just turn undead again. But it can be used against anything.
But this one, do they all count as frightened?
So they don't. No, normally it's just you have to leave. This is frightened. This one is, hey, I'm after you.
So they got to get 30 feet as far as they can, mm-hmm. and get you out of their sight as quick as possible.
Well, actually, it's not leave because their speed becomes 0. Oh. So it's stop, basically.
Wow.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But it's not as good as the Vow of Enmity.
Yeah.
Which is, as a bonus action, you utter a Vow of Enmity against a creature you see within 10 feet of you. You gain advantage on attack rolls against that creature for 1 minute or until it drops. So you just can give yourself advantage.
Right.
Hey, yeah, I really want to kill that guy. I'm going to kill him now. Thanks. That's just a thing I can do. Just, pretty good. Pretty good. At 7th, you get Relentless Avenger, which helps you chase them down.
Yeah.
When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, you can move up to half your speed immediately after the attack. And it's part of the same reaction, and it doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. You have to take feats for that normally. But Vengeance Paladin can just do it.
Yeah. And that's a pretty good level to get that too. 7th level is what you
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Starting at 15th level, the authority with which you speak your Vow of Enmity gives you greater power over your foe. When a creature under the effect of your Vow of Enmity makes an attack, you can use a reaction to make a melee attack against that creature if it's within range. Now, you may say, but what about my aura? Well, you don't get a special aura with this one. You just get the base Paladin aura with Vengeance. You don't get a special one. But the aura is still pretty good because it gives advantage on saving throws against stuff.
Yeah.
And then finally, at level 20, you get Avenging Angel. You can assume the form of an angelic avenger. Using your action, you undergo a transformation. For 1 hour, you gain the following benefits. Wings sprout from your back and grant you a flying speed of 60 feet.
That's key.
And you emanate an aura of menace in a 30-foot radius. The first time any enemy creature enters the aura or starts its turn there during a battle, the creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become frightened of you for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. Attack rolls against the frightening creatures have advantage, which is very good.
Yes.
I can now fly, and I'm coming for you. You know? Pretty great. Pretty great. I think to answer that, the best way about it is you don't mind taking opportunity attacks, but if you can move for free to get closer, especially if you're a paladin that has like Sentinel, where if they try to move away from you to get closer to your allies, you just shut them down. It's pretty useful to be able to get in there.
Also, when you get a few levels, some of the enemies, especially humanoid enemies, the DM may come up with, may have some feats, and Sentinel is a good one for an enemy to have.
Yeah.
And that if you get hit by an opportunity attack,
you can't move.
You don't get to go over there.
Yeah.
So it's as far as it goes, the paladins are the tanks, 99%. But and a lot of times they'd end up taking that. They would end up taking that attack, but this is a little bit extra at the end of it. So.
Yeah. Just hey, I want to get in between these guys without them being able to stop me.
Yeah. Right on.
Absolutely, though, I do think it bears to mention there are times where you kind of want to burn that reaction on the enemy, though.
Yeah.
And the tank would be the one you want to use it. So,
yeah.
It's interesting. But I like Oath of Vengeance. It's the best paladin subclass in my mind.
Yeah.
Just because of what it lets you do and the way that the vows work. Especially out of the base ones. And again, for anybody who's just catching up, we are just talking about the PHB subclasses today. We are going to come back and talk about more of the subclasses later on. But of the PHB subclasses, it's my favorite.
Okay. All right.
So let's talk Ranger.
Yeah. I love Ranger. Dark has already said twice that he loves Ranger, so I know we got another Ranger fan there, and you love Rangers.
I do love Ranger, yes. Yeah. And we should say again, this is not an overview of the entire class. This is just talking about the subclasses in the PHB.
Yeah.
Little by little, we are working our way through all of the official material, talking about these classes, and at some point we will probably do this episode is just about this class.
Yeah.
But for now, we're talking about PHB subclasses, which means for Ranger we have Hunters and Beastmasters, and unfortunately it doesn't have Gloomstriders.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, if you want to play a Ranger, the best way to play a Ranger is to play the Gloomstrider. It's the best subclass Ranger has, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's the thing that makes Ranger work in the greater scheme of D&D 5e.
Well, these two Rangers aren't bad, but there's really nothing. They need some shuffling.
Yes.
Both of these subclasses need some shuffling.
Yes, I
really
think
be effective.
Ranger is a great example of a class that is fun to play despite its problems.
Yeah.
Because I do think playing a Ranger, you are a Swiss Army knife.
Right.
You have something for everything.
Yeah.
But your damage isn't as high as everybody else.
Right.
You don't have as many spells as everybody else. You can't do as much as everybody else when it comes to tasking down.
Right.
You just have the advantage of being able to do everything a little bit.
Yeah.
And so...
The only time anybody cares about you is when you're traveling.
Hey, look, all I'm saying is, you're a Ranger, and you're not foraging for food. What are you doing? You can save so much gold. Especially if you play a Ranger that doesn't care how long it's been dead. So, if you decide you want to play a Ranger, and you're just using PHB, because again, we started this with the idea of maybe your DM says you can only use what's in the PHB, right? Hunter is the better for damage. Beastmaster is the better for RP.
Yeah.
Hunter is the I live in the forest, I hunt beasts, or I hunt enemies of the forest, or I hunt things that are a threat, right? I'm the town guard. Anything like that. That's a hunter, right? So, at level 3, you gain one of the following features of your choice. Colossus Slayer, Giant Killer, and Horde Breaker.
Yep.
Colossus Slayer is where when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, the creature takes an extra 1d8 damage if it's below its hit point maximum. You can deal this extra damage only once per turn. Honestly, it's not bad.
No, it's not. But it's not the best of the 3.
It's not the best of the 3.
No.
Giant Killer, when a large or larger creature within 5 feet of you hits or misses you with an attack, you can use your reaction to attack that creature immediately after its attack, provided you can see the creature, which is really good.
Yeah.
It's just a, hey, you tried to hit me, I get to hit you.
Yeah.
For free, basically. And then Horde Breaker, which is my favorite.
Yes.
Once on each of your turns, when you make a weapon attack, you can make another attack with the same weapon against a different creature that's within 5 feet of the original target and within range of your weapon. Mm-hmm. So if you're using a sword, you can hit them if you're right up in front of them, right? Just boom, boom. If you're using a bow, you can be a good ways away and just boom, boom. Because most of the time, creatures move together. Unless the DM is specifically trying to stop you from getting Horde Breaker, you're probably going to get to use it every time you hit.
Well, and as in chat was saying, the but like Rangers, they don't use a bow much.
Right.
That's still, if you're the dual wielding or
Yep.
single wielding up there.
Slash.
It's always nice to have that. Out of the three, Horde Breaker is my favorite and it's the most useful one.
Yep.
Whether you're that, like I said, the Ranger up there with the melee or if you're staying back with the bow, because it works very well with either one.
It's also not do damage to, it's make another attack. So while, yes, that does give you the chance to miss,
Yeah.
it also gives you the chance to crit.
Crit, yes.
Which can't really be understated, because it's not just roll an extra damage die or apply the damage to the other target. It's make another attack.
Yeah.
And sometimes that extra crit might save the party.
And if you're multi-class and you have actions that are based off when you make an attack,
Yep.
there you go.
You get to use them again.
Yep.
Ranger Paladin, man.
Yeah.
Man. At level 7, you get Defensive Tactics, which is like Hunter's Prey, except you get defensive options. And you get 3 of those as well. And you choose one of the ones you want. Escape the Horde, which is opportunity attacks against you are made with disadvantage, which is very good,
Yeah.
Multi-attack defense, when a creature hits you with an attack, you gain +4 bonus to AC against all subsequent attacks made by that creature for the rest of your turn, which is great for big monsters. And Steel Will. You have advantage on saving throws against being frightened. Honestly, all 3 of these are good.
Yeah.
Pick whichever one you personally want.
And depending on how you're fighting.
Yeah, what are you fighting?
Yeah, I think as far as crits go in 5e, 5e is as close to a board game as we've had as far as rules go. Stuff like Pathfinder, which I'm not very familiar with, but I think they're looking for a little bit more simulation to it. A little more realism than I think 5e is capable of getting.
Mm-hmm. For sure. We should specify too, we didn't mention this earlier, when you're playing a Ranger, you need to make sure you understand what type of game you're in. You need to talk to your DM.
Yeah.
Make sure that you know when you ask, hey, I want to pick a favorite enemy, you need to know what you're going to be fighting most of the time.
Yeah.
And that also helps with Escape the Horde and multi-attack defense. Because by this point, at level 7, you should know roughly what you've been fighting the most of. Hopefully.
Right.
And you can do that. At 11th level, you get another choice, which is multi-attack. You can choose Volley. You can use your action to make a ranged attack against any number of creatures within 10 feet of a point you can see within your weapon's range.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
You must have ammunition for each target as normal, and you make a 7 attack roll for each target. Again, that means you can crit.
Yeah.
Or Whirlwind attack. You can use your action to make a melee attack against any number of creatures within 5 feet of you with a separate attack roll for each target. So this one kind of is, which one do you use? Do you use a bow or do you use a sword? Because you should take whichever one you use.
Right.
Volley is great for bow users. Whirlwind attack is great for any kind of melee weapon, basically. Right. You get a melee weapon, you're in among everybody, just bam, 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 bam. I hit all the goblins. You got a bow.
Yeah.
I hit everybody out there.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
This is what saves Hunter in a lot of ways, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just getting there.
Yeah, you got to get to 11th first.
Yeah.
And then at 15th level, you gain the choice of Evasion, Stand Against the Tide, or Uncanny Dodge.
Which is very nice.
Evasion is while you're subjected to attacks, such as a Red Dragon's Breath or a Lightning Bolt. Anything that makes a dex save that you take half damage, you instead take no damage if you succeed. It's literally the same as Rogue's Evasion. It's very, very good. Stand Against the Tide. When a hostile creature misses you with a melee attack, you use your reaction to force that creature to repeat the same attack against another creature other than itself of your choice. So you can make it attack an ally or a different enemy. Uncanny Dodge. When an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to have that attack's damage against you, which is my personal choice.
Yeah, just being able to have that in your pocket and go, okay, that's half damage.
Yep. I can just choose to not take full damage from that. Sure.
Yeah.
Very good.
That's always nice.
We're not talking about the classes right now. We're talking about the subclasses.
Yeah.
But man, Ranger's 20th level ability is bad.
It is.
Moving on. Beastmaster. Beastmaster lets you get an animal friend, a companion.
Yeah.
It starts off being a beast of no larger than medium and challenge rating 1/4 or lower, but it does go up as you go. You can get better beast companions. Though you probably honestly won't. You'll probably stick with the same one.
Yeah, well, there's an ability you get later that they should give you earlier.
Yep.
But I'll wait till we get there.
Yeah. So this beast, you get to add your proficiency bonus to its AC, attack rolls, and damage rolls. It goes on your turn. It does not have its own initiative. It obeys your commands as best it can. You can use your action to verbally command it to attack, dash, disengage, dodge, or help. Once you have the extra attack feature, you can make a weapon attack yourself when you command the beast to take the attack action.
Yeah.
I like this and I don't like this because it takes your action
Exactly.
to command it, which feels like really heavy of a weight.
It is because you don't get anything to get that back.
Yes.
Except for a while.
Yes.
When you're fighting with that.
A null with a hyena would be very fun. But, again, having commanded attack and that's your attack, it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Get him!
Yeah, this is where the Beastmaster would probably be my favorite subclass, but they kind of short it out, and that you should be able to give it should be able to attack on a bonus action.
Yep.
And look, it's going to be very powerful at first.
But it balances out.
But by the time, yeah, it does.
Also, at 7th level, you get exceptional training. Which means that on any of your turns where it doesn't attack, you can use a bonus action to command it to dash, disengage, dodge, or help.
Yeah.
Which you can already do as a regular action anyway.
Yeah.
But sure. At 11th level, you get Beastial Fury. When you command your beast companion to take the attack action, the beast can make 2 attacks, or it can take the multi-attack action if it has that action.
Yeah.
The fact that your beast can't take multi-attack if it has it until 11th level is rough. And I would probably say, if it's my table, and it's got multi-attack, it can multi-attack.
If you're going to have that creature.
Yeah.
That's the one, that's 11th level.
Yep.
That should be
really late.
Yeah, to be able to use your creatures multi-attack.
You're over halfway done with your campaign if you're going to 20.
Yeah.
Most campaigns don't make it past 12.
Right. And I don't know how. I know we got a Pathfinder fan up here. Oh, he did 3 animal companions. Oh my god,
man! 2
The,
actions for the cost of your 1, and if you happen to also have a familiar, it moves on its own regardless, even if you have no actions. Yeah.
that could
much
get
better.
Yeah, but I could see how that could get out of hand.
Oh, for sure.
On them, but I don't know, man. This class is very disappointing for me.
Yeah, if I was playing this class, I would multi-class.
That's what I did. I multi-class with Arcane Archer.
Yeah.
And I got to get the Beastmaster that I wanted.
Yeah.
You know. And I'm not going to miss 20th level.
At 15th level, this will save it, right? You can cast a spell targeting yourself. You can also affect your beast companion with the spell if he's within 30 feet of you, despite the fact that you share a bond, a link that can never be severed.
I know. See, a paladin can do that when?
At level 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not good, unfortunately. And it should be, because that's the one people think of when they think of Ranger, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But realistically, instead of becoming a Beastmaster Ranger, you go Gloomstrider Ranger, and you spend all of your gold in getting a totem creature.
Yeah.
To pull the dreads. I mean, let's be honest. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You get a boar totem, or you get a panther totem, or you get an owl totem, and then you have that lifelong companion that can resummon itself after time that doesn't require your actions to move while you still get to be the cool ranger, you know?
Right. Yeah. It needs more independence. Not quite as much as Pathfinder independence.
Right, yeah.
Well, it was costing for the animal companions, not the familiar.
Yeah.
They were saying there.
Yeah, it seems pretty balanced to me, but I also just like the idea of 3 companions. I mean, all I'm saying is, look, if you give me the option to have animal companions, don't give me a limit to how many animals I can have. Give me a limit to how many I can use at one time.
Well,
Those are very different things.
Yeah, that's true. They're
No Man's Sky giving you 6 slots for animals in a universe of randomly generated animals.
Tune on Tuesdays at the same time to catch The full spectrum video cast for video games and video games news.
It just, to me, like, we're playing in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They're fae or they're divine or whatever, right? Let me just have a farm that they go to.
Yeah.
And then they come back when I need them. And I can spend the hour, whatever, to cast Find Familiar or whatever, right? To be able to choose which one I want to have with me.
Which we have to say, one of the problems that you have with and why they were so tepid with the Beastmaster, action economy is everything when it comes to combat in 5e.
Yes.
So that's what you're dealing with.
Yeah, when you dominate that, it makes it tough on the DM.
Yeah. And it's just, it almost doesn't matter the damage that's being put out on it if you're just getting those hits.
But in just the PHB, fighter, rogue, barbarian, and monk absolutely dominate the action economy. So it feels really mean to just kick down Ranger here.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we have been running for a good hour on subclasses.
Yeah.
You want to rant for a little bit? You want to try to hit rogue?
I feel like if we start rogue, we're going to be here for a while.
All right.
Because it's just thief, assassin, and arcane trickster. But you and I both have a lot of thoughts about arcane trickster.
Yeah.
And assassin is very good.
Well, rogue. We can talk about the rogue class just a second, just because, it's only 3 subclasses, but this is one of the classes I think I can say the whole class is done really well for 5th edition.
Yes, absolutely.
The rogue really fits in well and does well in 5th edition.
Absolutely. I also think that rogue has some of the best additional subclasses that have been added. Shadow rogues are incredibly cool.
Yeah. There's some class. 5th E's got some. 5E, man, it's so free and so enjoyable, and then it's got these kind of glaring gaps.
Yeah.
That you just have to kind of deal with and fill in on your own.
I feel like the better option then would be to just hang out for a minute, maybe take a couple questions from chat before we call it.
Okay.
If there are any questions the chat has, because again, I think if we get into rogue,
we'll be talking for a while.
Yeah, I think rogue's going to be another paladin.
Okay.
As compared to another ranger.
Yeah.
I think it's weird too when you look at it because the classes are all really good, except for the ones that aren't.
Yeah, and they obviously fall behind. Mm-hmm. It's not, you have to make up through creatively, and that's not what's really intended.
What happened at the start that might make people mad? I made a couple jokes about, I was telling a story about a boy that beat me up in school, and then I made a couple jokes that were basically of the effect that all of the people around here, but especially the women around here, get very angry because they chose violence in the morning. It was obviously a joke. It was a joke about choosing violence before the day even begins. But I didn't sell it as a joke hard enough at the start. And so I'm afraid people will think that I was being serious. And think that I have a problem with women when I don't. Most of my family is women. Yeah, everybody chooses violence in the morning. Right?
Uh-huh.
It's just a fact. We choose violence. But, no, it was just a joke. The woman card. That's right. That's right. I played that card. I am a woman in my family. I did just say that, didn't I? Oh, man. Now I'm going to get super canceled.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Oh,
God. I have a woman in my family. I have multiple women in my family. My mother, my sisters.
Got binders of them.
Yeah, so many. Thank you, Dark. I appreciate it.
Just, I think we almost just lost the sound guy for a second.
Yeah. He's been so good over there, and then the woman card came up. Oh, man.
Well, we appreciate that, Dark.
Yeah. No, I love women. I love men. I love all people.
You're not helping.
People are great.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Everybody should play D&D.
Yeah.
Binders of them. Well, that's something entirely different. Yeah, no, we have a good time here, and sometimes the jokes could be misinterpreted. Did I ever tell you about the guy that got unreasonably upset with me because of a Gundam video that I made?
No, you did not.
So, don't have binders for women, please. Yes, please. So I made a video ranking Gundam protagonists, and for anybody who doesn't know, we're also on YouTube, and we have like a whole bunch of videos that do everything. Most of them are just me talking at a camera, right? So in this Gundam video, where I talked about the Gundam protagonists, I had a section dedicated to, as a joke, to characters that claim to be pacifist in Gundam that were not very good at being pacifists. And I called it the pacifist tier of people that get more people killed by pretending to be pacifists. And the joke was about how my favorite Gundam character, Laron Seahawk from Turn A Gundam, is a pacifist character that I think is really good, right? Well, I put Kira Yamato in the pacifist tier for people who get people killed by pretending to be pacifists as a joke, and played the sound effect of Kira Yamato crying. And somebody in the comments went off for paragraphs of how Kira Yamato's their favorite pilot, and he was just doing his best, and how I need to not judge him before I even look at his actions. And I just didn't respond, because it's like, look, it was a joke. I don't dislike Kira Yamato. I don't like Kira Yamato, but I don't dislike Kira Yamato. And so I was like, yeah, I'm not going to touch that one. And then people started responding in support, being like, yeah, this guy clearly just doesn't even like characters. It's like, but the whole list, Laron, Domon Kashu, Char Aznable, Amuro Ray, Camille Bidan, they're all at the top. Like, what do you mean? Relina's the one you think's the worst? Yeah, Relina's entire problem of like, I'm going to be a pacifist, but I'm not actually going to do anything to be a pacifist. I'm just going to tell you to stop fighting, and that's going to fix it.
Right. That way it's easier for me to shoot you.
Right. Yeah. Ugh,
if you're not shooting back, it's a lot easier for me to kill you.
Relina Dorland, man.
Are we going to have to...
Peacecraft.
Man. So, okay, here's...
I can talk Gundam all day.
See,
That's all I'm saying.
This is what I'm worried about, because I made a joke about doing some other videos, and I mentioned you want me to watch Gundam or anything.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is the second time it's come up.
So can I? Awesome. Yeah, Zex was also part of that, for sure. And then, yes, he went and fought a bunch of people after being like, I'm here for pacifism. I'm here for it. Pacifism's the important thing. You're not being pacifist? I'll make you pacifist. You can't fight if you're dead.
The dead seem pretty pacified.
Yeah, So. I do love, for what it's worth, I do love Zex Marquise. It's just, So I only did the protagonist in that video, and this is a little behind the scenes thing. I had somebody ask me why I hadn't done an antagonist one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. I don't know why I didn't do that. I'll start work on that, And so what I normally do when I do those tier list videos is I pull up the tier maker is what the website's called. And I normally just find a list that's already pre-made, so I don't have to make one, right? It takes a lot of time to make one of those.
Yeah.
Because you have to import all the images, which means first you have to find all the images, resize them all, import them all. Well, the antagonist list that I found only had the main antagonist from the mainline UC series. And that means nothing to you when I say it that way. But basically Gundam is UC and AU, and they're all separated, right?
Yeah.
And so they're missing a ton of antagonists, and I was like, well, I can't make this list with just these. Dark, you are now my favorite chatter, because Char Aznable is a true hero and only wanted what was best for the world. And I've actually been really thinking about making a video on Char, because he is my favorite antagonist in the entire Gundam series, because he's also a great protagonist,
Cool.
He's amazing. Yeah, they have to destroy the bad guys. They just also work for the bad guys. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, sometimes you gotta work for the bad guy so you can undermine what they're doing for your own personal revenge. It's fine.
The old
Char's an Oath of Vengeance Paladin. Char is an Oath of Vengeance paladin.
You know the old saying, you either die the hero or you live long enough to become the villain?
Yeah.
It works the other way, too.
Look,
you either die the villain or you live long enough to become the hero.
That's right.
That's worked more than one story.
That's absolutely true. I'm just saying. Char Asinable.
I can't run that. I can run a lot of stuff. I can't run a Gundam campaign. I'm sorry.
So, I actually tooled around with the rules.
Yeah.
I had made, variations of classes, subclasses, that were just these are the rules for when you're on foot. You use the regular 5e rules.
Yeah.
And then when you get into the Gundam, instead it is this variant of the fighter class. And we use the same rules, but now you are a different class.
Oh, man.
Because you use the Gundam's class.
You put too much work in it and be like, all right, you take this monster stats.
Yeah.
You take this monster stats.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not writing that down.
He's a hero. That's right. That's right. He was just undercover.
Undercover?
Look, all I'm saying is Char did nothing wrong. You know?
Okay.
And our sound man back there, he agrees with me. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Char did nothing wrong. Char Asinable's the best written villain in all of Gundam.
That's been running a long time now.
Yep. There's a couple that get a little close, but Char Asinable, best written.
You heard it here.
Mm-hmm. He did plenty wrong. Nope, he did nothing wrong. I'm ignoring all of those dead people over there. And those that got caught in the path of revenge and that one colony, we're just not going to worry about it. Did nothing wrong. It's fine. It's fine. So at this point, I guess we should say we're almost at 1:15.
Okay.
If we have any other questions from chat, we'll tackle those. But otherwise, we're getting close to time.
Yeah, we'll wrap up here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. And it's not that we have Char did nothing wrong. You ignore all he did wrong. It's not that we have a set time that we end. We just don't want to go too long at any one time. Favorite Gundam?
Series or actual vehicle? Actual robot?
So, the Gian doesn't count, unfortunately.
Actual robot. What's your favorite robot? Aegis?
No, I like the Aegis a lot. I really do. But if we're going Gundam...
The Nutter Butter one?
No. Because unfortunately the Bawu doesn't count.
Okay.
The Under Nutter is great, but I would probably say the Turn-A. I know a lot of people don't like the mustache, but I love the Turn-A's design. It's very slick and clean. If I have to choose just UC, even though Turn-A, then the new Gundam. I really love the white and black and gold of the new Gundam. It's got a really nice design to it. It's not symmetrical, and normally I love symmetrical, but I love the new Gundam. If we're talking Seed, it's the Aegis for sure. I love the Aegis. The fact that it can turn into a mobile armor, and instead of being a plane like all the others, it just has a grabby claw on the front. Love that. And if we're talking wing, then it's got to be Doggies.
Somebody knows you a little well, Trey. I'm not going to point out they're attacking your weakness here.
A little bit. Is there a Gundam with an eye patch? There is. There is, and it's from Gundam Age. The Noble Gundam is very good. Sharzaku 2 as well. In Gundam Age, the Age 2 Darkhound has an eye patch. And it's a pirate-themed version of the Age 2, which is very cool and themed to look a little bit like Captain Harlock. So,
Last year, was it last year or the year before last? You did when the Gundam game came out, the last fighting game.
Yeah.
You did every Gundam.
Yep. Did a full breakdown of the roster.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Kind of went into a few of the histories of some of them.
Mm-hmm.
He was having fun. He got to nerd out. They're very fun to watch. Yeah. I do believe he's got a playlist for them.
I also found a tier. I do, yeah. I found a tier list that supposedly had every Gundam character. It didn't. But I spent 4.5 hours ranking 90% of all the Gundam characters and condensed that down into an hour-and-a-half long video.
That's cool.
So, I just, sometimes I have to talk through my thoughts, and that takes a while because I like to talk. G-Savior's a good one. I like the G-Savior suit-wise. I don't like G-Savior the movie, personally. But I like the G-Savior suit-wise. I don't mean to just immediately take us down Gundam Age thing when we were about to end.
Okay, I'm just letting you know I'm out of coffee.
Okay, I'll be quick. I do want to say, the Age suits are really cool. Age 2 Darkhound is incredible. But Age is one of those series where the first part of Age is somehow like really solid for the first 5 or 6 episodes and then becomes incredible for a very short span of time. And then throws, like literally, it has this incredible, awesome moment where an angry character shoves a beam saber into a space station, and you get the view from inside the space station as the beam saber rams down a hallway, and it's so cool. And this character is on fire, and they're going for it, and then somebody came in and took the script and wrapped it up into a little ball and threw it into a shredder. And then the rest of the team went, I guess we'll just put the rest of the show together, and they just threw it all away. Yeah. And it falls apart.
That's sad, sir.
The RX-78-2 and Sharzaki 2, nice.
Someone's got a lot of patience.
Yeah.
I've seen a few of those models.
Oh, I love putting together model games. I need time to do it again. I do think, Dark, you should consider watching Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. The writing is not like as good as the older ones, but it has some really, really good moments, and the suits are very cool. Suits are very nice. Oh, they're so much fun to put together, especially if you just have a high grade that can take you like an afternoon instead of like a real grade. That man, I worked for 3 days on my real grade Zeta Gundam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know they have a few of them that are basically, you pop the arms, leg, head on, and then you paint it.
Yeah.
But they have some others that.
That's the real grades.
That's...
when I say I took 3 days, I mean I took 3 days.
Yeah.
I slept like 4 hours in those 3 days.
Yeah, I've seen a few of the larger, much more intricate models.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
High grades are so much fun to get together, Dark. You're gonna love it. Don't worry if you make some mistakes early on, because you can always come back with Gundam line markers or some paint and touch it up later. You're good. Just learn it, and you're gonna love it. Don't mind your mistakes.
They're blind. That's why they don't mind watching.
All right. Well, we should probably wrap this up. With all this said, I've been Trey.
I've been Rungan.
We've been the Full Spectrum, and remember to always enjoy the Full Spectrum D&D podcast.